How do you find highly committed people who are ready to invest the time and the money to improve their own health and fitness? How do you avoid wasting time in sales conversations with people who obviously are not ready to make that step forward and that commitment to work with you? And how can you find those perfect, ideal, highly committed clients online? So I've been there where I've been trying to promote my online programs and business. And I've gone the range from low price programs to high end programs and everything in between. And there's one strategy that has been super, super successful in helping me find the exact target audience, that ideal client who's ready to invest in themselves. And many of them they've stayed with me for the long term, for years. But how did I find them, and how did I find them online? Now, there's a couple steps to it. The first part of this is creating an online questionnaire, like a survey. A lot of people will use the word a quiz. It's basically an online questionnaire. But here's the thing, it's not just any type of questionnaire. It is a questionnaire that creates in your potential client this self-reflective, kind of this self-assessment, self-reflection, to have them think more deeply about the areas that they're doing well in their life and the areas where they're potentially struggling, and kind of building more awareness about why they would need you. Why would they benefit working with you? So what I've found to be really, really helpful in these types of questionnaires is to do it on a Likert scale. So doing it on like a scale of 1 to 5. So 1 would be, oh, I'm struggling. I've not mastered it. It's something that I've been having problems with. That would be a 1. And a 5 would be something that, I've nailed it. I'm successful. I've mastered this. Ideally, you don't want the person scoring a 5, right, in the highest mastery in every question. Because if they're scoring super high, then why would they hire you? Why would they need you? And then at the end of the quiz, what you put are your commitment level questions. So these are questions that will help you identify, are they highly committed and are they ready to take the next step forward? And so by giving them this questionnaire and this survey, it helps them to develop more awareness of where they are and where they might need help. But it also helps you to kind of weed out those people that are not ready to move forward, so that based on their responses, you'll know who to follow up with, or who to make an offer to, or who to get on a phone conversation with. The next step will be to distribute and get that question out to a lot of different people. And stay with me to the very end, because there is one strategy in distributing and getting the survey out that has brought me hundreds of thousands of dollars and thousands of followers that I built and grew my email list. So I'm going to give you a number of different strategies to distribute the survey, but also the one that I have found it's been the most highly successful. But let's get back to the questionnaire, and I want to give you some examples to help you think about the types of questions to ask. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to break your questionnaire down into different categories. And these would be the categories of the areas and topics that reflect what you offer and how you're going to be able to support them. So I did a little bit of brainstorming ahead of time, so I'm going to share the topics that cover the health and fitness realm. So number 1 might be motivation, right? They're struggling to be motivated. So maybe your role is to help motivate them. So I would create at least 1 or more questions around the area of motivation. Another area that you might want to ask, a topic, would be around kind of mental wellness. A lot of times kind of our mental well-being, like we're feeling anxious, we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we're overworked. These are the kind of the barriers that we need help in overcoming. So if that's an area where you like to help your clients, I would then make that one of your categories around kind of mental wellness. Also, if you have a lot of clients who come to you for help in goal setting and creating, say, a fitness program or maybe a nutritional program, then I would make that a category in the questionnaire. So you would have some maybe building a fitness program, some questions related to where are they in building strength, where are they in their exercise. And then if you offer things like nutritional consultation, right? You might want to have some questions, a category in there that specifically has them reflect on the areas that they need help in the area of nutrition. I wouldn't go overboard. I would say anywhere from 5 to 20 questions max. Just pick a couple categories. I would say 1 to 4 categories that reflect the topics of your program, your coaching, and the areas that you work with them. Then the next thing that you do is underneath these categories, you need to create statements. You want a statement where they can evaluate themselves, do a self-assessment on like a scale of 1 to 5. So let me give you some examples of some questions that I created. Oh, and if you would like a copy of these questions, just let me know, comment, message me, and I'll send it over to you. Okay, I'm going to read a couple questions here just to give you an example of how to frame and how to write these questions. Let's look at motivation and accountability. So the statement, it's not a question, it's a statement. I feel motivated to exercise and eat healthy even when life gets busy and stressful. So in that question there, they think about what's their motivation, where do they struggle? And again, on a scale of 1 to 5, where do they fall? Let me give you another example. I bounce back quickly if I miss a workout or make unhealthy eating choices. So again, it might be, well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. In general, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 is like, I've mastered this. I bounce back very quickly. 1 would be like, I really, really struggle. Let me give you a couple more question examples. I'm statements. They're not questions, but statements. So let's focus on like mental wellness. So here's another statement. I rarely feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed about my fitness journey. So I'm starting to tap into that mental aspect. So let's look at another one. Okay, let's look at one for exercise, a fitness exercise. So the statement here could be, I am confident in my ability to choose and implement exercises that are effective and safe, right? I know exactly the type of exercise and how to properly implement it to strengthen my upper body. And if somebody's coming to you and they're wanting to have some exercises, if that's one of the areas that I'm going to be helping them with, then I want to have a statement that's going to get them to be self-reflective in an area of need. To see an example of what these types of statements would look like, I actually have a survey that I created for you. If you go to fitfreelife.com, you can get an example and do the survey right now. And this is catered specifically for you and your interest in growing an online business. Okay, so after you created your categories, the next thing, this is really, really important. At the end of the questionnaire, at the end of the survey, have 1 to 3 statements that have them reveal to you their commitment level. And let me read a couple that I've used. So the first one, I'm ready to discover what I need to achieve better physical health or physical fitness, right? So that we're looking at their commitment level. Are they ready right now? Let me give you another one. This is important because a lot of people might be ready, but they are not willing to invest. The next one is I am open to investing in the support and guidance I need to, and then whatever the goal is. So if you have a fitness business, if you have a health business, if you have a wellness business, you would complete that statement with whatever area that you're focusing on. And then this is important if you are offering programs that do one-on-one coaching, one-on-one mentoring and support. Let me read this one for you. I believe that working with a knowledgeable coach can help me achieve my goals faster, right? So you might want to have a statement in there to see what their level of willingness or commitment is to work one-on-one with a coach. So what happens is if they score a 5, right, that is somebody that I want to pursue. But if somebody says, I'm ready and willing, but I am not to the point of investing, then I'm not going to put time and energy in pursuing that person or getting on a phone conversation with them or doing a virtual meeting and spending time to go over my program if they just clearly told me they are not ready to invest right now. But here's another thing is when they do the survey, they put their name and their email address. So it's a form of lead generation. And hang with me because I'm going to tell you in just a minute how I've been able to get hundreds and hundreds of leads. So the next step, what I've done with this survey is once the responses have come in, normally what I'll do is I will send out an email response. Some of these are automated, and I will send out a response for the highly committed with a link to my calendar so they can book a call with me. Now, you don't have to do a one-on-one call. You could then give them an offer and give them information to sign up for a program. And what I've done, I use a software program. It's a program called Magpie, but there's a lot of online programs that you could use. You could use Google Forms to do a free questionnaire, SurveyMonkey. There's a software called JotForm, and you could qualify too if you do my survey that I created for you at fitfreelife.com. During that one-on-one time, I like to offer high value. I like to help the person in the areas that they're needing support, get to learn more about where they're struggling, and then discuss if maybe there might be opportunities for us to work together. So again, if you'd like to see an example of a survey that I created for you and to see if you qualify for a free one-on-one coaching session with me, just go to fitfreelife.com. And the last thing, here's the strategy that I wanted to share with you. There are a lot of ways that you can distribute and get this survey out there. You can put a link on your website. You can put it in the footer and the signature of every email that goes out. You can have a blog, and at the bottom of every single blog entry, right, you can have the link to your survey. You can do a YouTube video and tell people during the video, go to fitfreelife.com and take my survey. But one of the things that I have found that has been the most successful for me, where I've gotten hundreds and hundreds of people to fill out my survey, I've built up my email list by thousands of people, and it's helped me generate from $1,000 programs to $24,000 coaching programs. And that is by using the survey in addition to a free training, like a free live webinar. And what I've done is they sign up for the training, and then I follow up with an email and say, before you come to the free training, please take this survey, because this will help me make sure that my training is catered to your interests and needs. And that's how I've had, like I said, the most success and the highest number of people in actually filling out and completing the surveys. So if you are not currently using questionnaires or surveys or quizzes, if you currently don't have some kind of a system to kind of weed out and funnel out the low committed before they ever get to you, and how to identify the highly committed, those people who are ready and willing to invest in working with you, I highly, highly recommend doing it, because it's going to save you a whole bunch of time. You're going to be spending less time and energy on the people who are already kind of self-identifying that they are not ready to take that next step forward. And it will help you be more efficient in deciding who is ready, who's your ideal audience, and then move forward, whether it's to offer them a link to sign up for your online program, or reach out to them and hop on a phone call conversation or an online chat with them so that you can learn more about them, they can learn more about you, and get them signed up. So if this was helpful, let me know. Also, if you would like me to create a tutorial on how to use a free online tool like Google Forms to actually create your own questionnaire using a free software program without having to invest, let me know, because I would be happy to put that together for you. But also give out a trial, do a test run, and I encourage you to go to fitfreelife.com and answer a few questions, learn a little bit more about your own kind of strengths and weaknesses, your areas of needs with you and your online business. And thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned, more to come. And I look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Fit, Free, and Fearless.